He's choosing to go second.
Thank you.
Well, if you're going to be choosing to go second, that kind of telegraphs a little bit. This is the thing that we mentioned earlier about even if you win the die roll, that's not necessarily good. Oh, but now he's going to see into this particular deck. This is going to be Chimera versus Tenpai. We're going to use Mourner to target the Nightmare Apprentice, preventing the add of an illusion monster. That's one of the most powerful cards, but now we get to follow up with a Mirror Sword Knight. Is there a follow-up with another Destruction from hand? If that goes through, oh, this is huge. If this lands, and the monster's able to fetch another card out of the deck. This is either going to be Burfament or Gazelle. If it's Gazelle, maybe we're going to see a different extra deck line of play, but if it's Burfament, we're going to be locked into the fusions. It's going to be Burfament because that adds 2 cards.
Burfament effect on summon to search for a Gazelle and or Chimera fusion.
It's going through. So this is the danger about letting your opponent go first. As a Chimera deck, you're able to rip cards out of the hand and minimizing resources. But Ryan, who's playing Tenpai, needs those resources to actually initiate a good, a good turn.
And choosing to go second really kind of gives it away.
Yeah.
Right? Unless, you're doing something like Ediseption did at the last YCS, where he's going second with something completely different like that Adventurer Horus deck. And in fact, that might be something to look at as you're playing in this format, right? Like, pick a deck that wants to go second that isn't Tenpai, so that you get people on the wrong foot when you choose to go second against them.
Yep.
But still surprise them when they choose to go first.
But now we're going to get a pretty big chain link. We're going to put the Chimera as chain link 3, which is really, really strong.
He's got the Magnamut, though. The one of Magnamut. That's tough.
And Magnamut banishes out of the Mirror Sword Knight. So Mirror Sword Knight is not going to be able to negate that Magnamut. However, we're still going to be able to get the search with the Gazelle. We're still going to be able to rip a card out of the hand. However, that search card is probably going to be a very key factor in this particular game because you get the search for any dragon card.
Now, is there a universe where maybe you just negate the... Oh, no, it's got to be on the field, right?
It has to be on the field. Mirror Sword Knight has to hit on the field. That's a bit unfortunate, but it is a very powerful card nonetheless.
Chimera fusion effect, adding it back to hand since I control Chimera, the flying full beast.
Chimera is going to activate. So, Chain Link 1 is going to be the Magnamut, and then Chain Link... It's not even going to be... It's a separate chain entirely, because those are both of those... One's a trigger, one's an ignition.
That's a trigger. Mine's just mine's not, so you activate that.
But this is what they're discussing right now. Now, there are 2 6s on the field, 2 level 6 monsters, and depending on whether or not Garrett's playing a Melodious package, that could change up how the extra deck is constructed. But we're going to activate a regular polymerization. That's going to be an illusion. And are we going to go for Burfament? Yeah. We're going to go. So it can be any of the 3 types, but they just need to be different. And that's going to be Burfament.
To foolish a beast, fiend, or illusion monster.
Or we're going to send to the graveyard Yabelze into the graveyard, which is really, really strong.
Yes, that's very good here. Especially because they have that quick play Sandgen spell, right? That they would not be able to play at all.
Yep.
While it's on the field.
Oh, we're going to be down a few cards, but Brian's going to be able to get a search for any dragon, which is very powerful. But what I want to kind of...
Oh, there's the field spell.
Ooh, that hurts. But I think... Did he forget to add a card?
I think he forgot to activate Magnamut.
Did he forget to activate Magnamut? That is going to be huge.
He didn't declare it until after he had gone back and used the Chimera Fusion to add back effect.
I thought they were just debating, but this is a huge play here because we are seeing the summon of Chandra. Chandra can synchro summon with that Magnamut going into Transcendent Dragon. But we're going to go into attack first because we're trying to...
The other thing is, doesn't...
Well, that's just what any dragon attacks.
So we're going to go into damage step. We're going to activate Chandra. Chandra's going to summon out another monster that's going to be Hydra. Hydra's effect is going to add Sangan Summoning. Sorry, Sangan Kaiman into the hand. Very interesting. That is going to destroy the Burfament.
Yes, that's the attack from Magma.
I'm a little concerned about the timing of certain cards here, but we are in this current state, and we are staring down a lot of damage right now.
Now I'm thinking about the life points here. Is that Ghost Girl, is that the one that also does damage when the monster leaves the field?
Yes.
So we never took the 2,000 there from Nightmare Apprentice being fused off.
Yes. So technically, you don't even need that much of a reach now.
So that's what I was thinking. Like, he doesn't need all of these cards because of the 2000 from Ghost Mourner.
But we are going to be running into a lot of like trouble if the graveyard stuff starts to get activated. I think there was a lot of missed opportunity on the effect, the Chimera. Because you have Chimera effects, you can summon back the Mirror Sword Knight with the Baphomet. You can probably summon back even more cards, to be honest. But if Transcendent Dragon comes onto the field now, the entire battle phase is locked out. And not only that, there's also a Sangan Diamond in hand that can chain in case the Diabelze would be summoned onto the field through the other Chimera in the graveyard.
Yeah, you needed to get that the
the
Diabelze out before.
Yeah, you needed everything out before we got to this particular position. Like, this is what I mentioned in the game, like round 2, when you have to preemptively activate certain cards to prevent scenarios from coming up like this, and it is happening exactly right now. A lot of missed opportunity. So Biden Dragion is going to target, and we're going to activate Imperm to target the Biden Dragon. I don't know if that is going to be a good play, because that could be chained to, but that is going to go through. And don't forget, that is also a Tuner Synchro Dragon, correct? Now the monsters now are too small. Nightmare Apprentice cannot be destroyed by battle. Neither monster would be destroyed, so we're going to summon the Nightmare Apprentice back through the effect of Chimera.
Nightmare Apprentice, Search of Illusion.
And we're going to get the Search of Illusion.
Yeah.
Ooh, Chain of a Forbidden Droplet. What are we sending for the Lightning Storm? And that's going to negate it, and also negate the battle protection as well.
Yes. And that's key. It's going to get Apprentice off of the field.
Mm-hmm. We have multiple synchros. If we can collect 3 attacks, that's going to be more than enough damage to take care of the entire game.
Another synchro summon into Biden Dragion.
That is attacking for game. That is very unfortunate. There's no response once the level 10 comes out for Garrett. We have one deck that has a higher skill ceiling than the other, quite clearly.
Tenpai Man? Nightmare Apprentice?
Nightmare Apprentice, Edge of Chain, one of my favorite openings for this one.
That's a good one.
Chain to Edge of Chamber.
We're going to see a follow-up with
That's
the
a good
Mourner.
one.
Sorry.
We're seeing the Mourner target, so we're not going to get the best search. However, they're still going to be able to search for the Frightful Patchwork and get a polymerization. And that still fulfills the requirement for Baphomet for the future.
Okay. Thank you.
Nothing on resolution. There is no Jordan Lockbird.
Frightful Patchwork.
Patchwork gets you 2 more cards.
I mean, this deck is supposed to bury their opponent through card advantage.
It's the exact opposite of the other one, which is just bury your opponent.
Yes.
Why is it not activated? Frightful Patchwork.
Oh.
Oh, he doesn't have the cards?
He's holding the
He's
other
got
copy.
the other
of
one.
Chain.
Oh, no.
Okay, hold
Oh,
on.
no.
There is, I believe, a Chimera Fusion, so you can still use Chimera to kind of get the play off the round.
He doesn't get the polymerization.
Yeah, that part is pretty.
That's the brutal part.
I don't think you have an option here. You have to Chimera Fusion. So we're going to set the Engine Chain into the graveyard, and the Nightmare Apprentice.
And there should be,
Damage.
just like the last game, there should be the 2000.
The 2,000 damage is coming through here.
Effect on Summon the Foolish, a Fan Beast or Illusion monster.
This hand is a little strange, I'm not going to lie. Infinite Impermanence is going to target the Baphomet. Unfortunately, there is no Kodal in the graveyard.
Pass turn.
We're going to pass turn just
Yeah,
on this.
that's not good.
And there's a Magnabot opening
You
again.
just get the same hand.
It feels like it. I mean, that is a 1-up in the deck. But that actually could backfire. That potentially
can
can
it?
backfire. Because it's a Baphomet on the field, now that you have a Banish card, you can summon the Banish monster back onto the field, get yourself the additional search. So, not sure if that was the best option, but if you're getting that search Chandra, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, well, it depends on how this Baphomet is destroyed in battle, right?
Yeah, well, it
Like
just needs
if
to
it's
hit the
something
graveyard.
that doesn't make it hit the graveyard.
Yes, that would be a risk, but this is Tenpai we're talking.
Or if they get Meteor Burst Dragon up first, for instance.
Meteor Burst Dragon, or maybe the Black Rose Moonlit Dragon.
To bounce it away?
To bounce
Yeah.
it away, yeah, these are definitely options. And, looking at that hand, I don't think there's too much to go on
Yeah,
here.
it seemed like he just drew the same hand as last time.
Yep, Sangen summoning. Now we're going to be cleanly able to protect all of your fire dragons. So we're going to be adding a copy of Hydra, and we have to discard a card from the hand. Did he forget to add back Chimera Fusion from the graveyard? Oh, it was negated. The name was negated. You don't have the name, you can't add it back.
Yes,
That's what
can't
happened.
add it back.
That's why it's actually crucial, even if you have to negate those cards. You get Sangen Kaiman into hand. The question is, he has a Chandra in hand already, so he could actually easily just make the 10. Go for the Transcendent Dragon, and then just play Kaiman in the battlefield.
Yeah, I imagine that is.
Yeah, you have to discard before you start playing your other cards. Yeah, you gotta be very careful of resolving the entire card text there. We're gonna special summon out the Chandra. I mean, isn't it a bit risky to just go for Magnum attack?
Yeah.
Especially when you have Kaiman.
I think he could play it a little safer.
Yeah, it could have been a little bit safer, starting with the Transcendent Dragon first, but nonetheless, there's no interaction. There's nothing in the graveyard that would pose a threat. The Baphomet, however, might have a timing to do something, but I don't think it's going to be enough, personally. You know, the
Yeah,
cards
it
are on the
it
table.
Shouldn't be
He's
enough.
attacking over.
We're attacking over it. So now we do have an interaction in the graveyard.
On attack declaration, Baphomet managing to target Nightmare Apprentice to reborn it.
Yeah, but this is, again, it's going to be special summoning a monster from the banishment. And once it's summoned on the field, it's going to add.
Okay.
The question is, do you play the Candleman?
And Cornfield.
Or getting Cornfield Coatl? That's a follow-up card that's not going to really add too much to the current
So
situation.
this is the assumption that he's going to survive this battle phase, but we'll see if that is the case.
Sure.
Chandra's going to take no damage because don't forget Hydra is on the field, so Fire Dragons do not take battle damage. Just playing all these attacks. Going for the Synchro Summon play. Gonna go for a 7 with the Chandra and the Fadra.
Now, one of the other keys here is those two attacks didn't do anything, but the important thing to note is that it adds to the count of how many attacks we declare this turn, and you have to get to 3.
Yep, and then you get to summon all your dragons from the graveyard, or the Dragian monsters back from the graveyard as a quick effect that could happen at any point in the turn.
She has an effect where neither monster when she battles is destroyed by battle.
Monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. These are illusion monsters after all. There's only one illusion monster, 2 illusion monsters technically, that can be destroyed by battle. One is the Abelze, and the other is going to be the vanilla monster, the normal monster.
Declaration. It just can't be destroyed by battle.
Correct.
Well, it cannot be destroyed by battle.
Okay.
I mean,
I'll attack the single summon.
if we were to count how many attacks are left over at this point, I would say there's at least 5 more attacks coming. This is the perfect phase for that deck. So we're gonna see Koi Belt.
Go. Oh. No, I'm locked into Fire
What?
Dragons.
He's locked into Fire Dragon, so you cannot play Quibalt there.
Oh, it is? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was Fire Dragons.
Oh,
also,
there is no lock. It's just Dragon.
And then I believe I can.
Oh, it's the protection. That's what we're thinking about. The protection is only for Fire Dragons.
Yeah, protections for Fire Dragons. I believe if you activate the effect of Biden Dragian, you are locked into dragons for that turn. But there are ways of people that kind of bypass it because it's still technically an activated effect to summon from the graveyard, so you can still summon into Warp
I
Gate.
think that second attack with Quibalt should have been game because of the 2000 from
Yeah.
Ghost Mortar.
28?
Yeah.
Even better.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
they
no, it
still
should
have
be
another
at
Synchro
800.
Summon. If they Synchro Summon away the Biden Dragon come back, but of course we're going to see Transcendent Dragon. I don't think we're going to see the crazy number of attacks coming from... There we go, it's game.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Is you don't need